Custom fitting. Said to improve your golf game, this process usually costs hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Is it really worth it?
Well, we're going to find out today, aren't we? Because I've got 3 different shafts that I'm going to put in this TaylorMade Stealth 2 Plus. The first one is our standard off-the-rack option, a Diamana S Plus 60 gram X Flex. That is about, I think about £100 or so that you can get, but it comes as a stock offering for TaylorMade Stealth 2 Plus. We then move up to Ventus. Ventus Black, one of the most popular shafts on the PGA Tour. This was fitted for me, and this driver shaft is about £300 or so. So a custom fitted shaft, one that should get better results than the predecessor that I've just mentioned, the Diamana S Plus. Last but not least though, this absolute beauty, the Free Flex shaft. This is 45 grams. It is completely different shaft profile, kick point to the other two, but it is technically custom fitted for me, for my swing, and it could give us some very interesting results. But interesting results comes with a lot more money. This is about, I'll put it up to the screen for you now, costs a lot, about my rent for the month. We're going to jump into the stock option first and just get some preliminary findings here on the GC Quad using a Pro V1X golf ball at Grays Golf in the southeast of England. This will hopefully tell you guys should get a driver off the rack, or if you should spend a little bit more money and get custom fitted. Let's find out, shall we? I've been standing here for too long. First up, we've got, as I said, the cheapest option, the off-the-rack option, the one that you can just wander into your local golf superstore and get if you wanted to without asking any more questions to the fitter. This is a X-Flex shaft around mid-kick point, around mid-launch, around mid-torque, you know the drill. To be honest, it's actually a pretty good comparison to the Ventus. Still pretty stout, so it'll be really interesting to see these numbers. Now, new swing, new feels. Christ, dear Lord Almighty. The thing is, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there for all of you guys. I felt pretty good. It's quite slow. I feel like I'm quicker than this, but that's a bit better. Bit of numbers, slightly high and toey, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but already seeing a slight difference in dispersion. That one not too bad, 30 yards all right, we'd probably find the fairway with that one. But I just tell you guys to keep an eye on that club head speed and that ball speed and the overall efficiency. Beauty, beauty. Say it, shall I say it one more time? I'm gonna say it one more time. Beauty. That felt good. And this is a good shaft. But custom fitting, we're really only delving into driver today, aren't we? Which isn't a problem at all, but this really can be a series, couldn't it, on different types of clubs, because we're just talking about the shaft, a really big, important point for driver custom fitting, can change a lot of things. We could talk about heads as well, but I'm just focusing on what fitters would probably look at if they already know what heads you should use. When we go into irons, there's so many different things. There's shafts, but there's also lie angle, loft, so much more length. And I guess length is also a factor in drivers as well. That's gone bloody miles. All right, well, slightly higher on the face, but 349. Good number, good number. Good number, good number, good number, good number. They're all good numbers. Numbers that I don't think I'll actually beat with any of those premium shafts. That was the worst swing in the world. And that's a really interesting one there because of those numbers. 5 shots, 5 results. And the one thing I think we're struggling with here, well, I wouldn't say struggling, but although there's a few really good numbers, consistency is one thing that's faltering. The overall ball speed, spin rate, carry total isn't too bad. But then first of all, dispersion is pretty poor all over the place. And then if we actually look at the table here, there's a lot of inconsistencies. And the one thing that I want to show you guys after this is if you look at these numbers here, nothing too awful, a bad strike there, but spin rate's okay, but a bit all over the place sometimes, which is a swing error, of course, but descent angle is a little bit different too, a little bit different in launch angle. And that's not, I didn't hit it that badly. Efficiency was all there between 1.42 and 1.48. So they were all pretty good shots, but led to slightly different results. Not as bad as I thought. Not as bad as I actually anticipated. We still got one out there 350. So this club with this shaft can produce good results, but not as consistent as I'd like. So let's switch over to the Ventus. Now the Ventus is, like I said already, one of the most popular shafts on the PGA Tour, used by Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and much, much more. I think if you looked in the majority of PGA Tour players' bags, I think it's about 40 to 50% of professional golfers will play a Ventus shaft of sorts. Rory McIlroy did have this exact shaft, the Ventus 6X, Ventus Black 6X. He then changed to a Ventus Blue TR 6X to get a little bit more consistency in his absolutely massive 185 mile/hour ball speed drives. I will not get there today, but keep an eye on that ball speed to see what we get. This driver shaft for TaylorMade, for other brands, I've been fit into various times, so I know this shaft can suit my swing. I've also tried the TR, I've tried the 7X, I've tried a lot of them. There's a reason why these aren't one of the most successful shafts on the PGA Tour. But being successful, alongside pretty much anything in any sport, comes with a price tag. This is much more expensive than the Diamana. The Ventus Black, Ventus shafts with VeloCore technology, now upwards of £300. So, expensive. Good one, just a little bit left, but we're getting that draw better. That's pretty much the ideal shot though, the shot that I would like to see on the course overall. And you can see carrying 300 and total 322, that's okay. So consistency is what we're looking after here. We really want to see that across the board, those numbers on that table are pretty much exactly the same across the face, and that's what I'm hoping for. Could have not hit that any better. Yeah, carried 320. That is a pretty good start. I have a feeling that's going to be, yeah, okay, so I don't really think I can hit a golf ball much better than that. Efficiency 1.49, clubhead speed, ball speed, and path at that's less than 0.5 degrees out to in. So that's pretty much the best I can do. And what's interesting is that on the second shot with the Ventus, we've already topped the amount of shaft by 3 mile/hour ball speed. Now, clubhead speed, pretty similar, but it's that efficiency overall that we're going to see improved slightly. So let's see if I can continue it. So that one was slightly low on the face, slightly, but actually wasn't too bad overall. As you can see with that number there being still 324 yards, spin climbed up slightly, but again, the really good numbers are there is the path, the angle of attack, and the efficiency at 1.48. I'll be able to deflect this golf club on a bad shot still out of the middle. So we can see here that the numbers overall, if you're looking from an individual case-to-case basis from the Diamana to the Fujikura Ventus Black, from the best swings, there's only about a 3 mile/hour increase in ball speed, which is good, but you wouldn't really think that'd be worth the money. What I can see here is there's a difference in consistency. I'm not getting anything that's 3,200 spin. I'm not getting anything that is 3 or 4 degrees out to in. I'm not getting anything that's actually 60 or 70 yards right either. And that's a really good shot as well. Slightly over the top, I would say, but we're seeing, oh, goal. We're seeing it slightly straighter. I don't think it's picked up the clubhead speed on that one, which is a shame, but we can see 177 ball. I don't think that was my best swing in the world, but we're still getting what was the fastest of the other one. Is that falling out the sky slightly? Slightly falling out the sky. A little bit low spin, but we're not going to be too disheartened by that because it's gone, well, 344 yards. No complaints, right? No complaints. And we can already see here with those numbers, an average of 2,400 spin, but the dispersion is a lot better. None right, and the miss is more consistent to the left. Ball speed is up. If I just compare these quickly, you can see, really interesting actually here, that we've got about 3 mile/hour ball speed increase across the board with launch angle a lot lower. So the Diamana, 4 degrees launch higher because those miss hits went to the moon. Spin not actually that much different, but an extra 8 yards. But look at that dispersion, guys. The dispersion is a lot worse with the Diamana. If you look at the club data as well, you can see the Ventus, I'm getting so much better efficiency and about an extra 1 mile/hour club head speed. So that's actually really interesting across the board there. You can see the path and the attack angle pretty similar. Actually, the attack angle with Ventus is even better than the Diamana. But the question that I want to ask you guys is it worth it? You can look at those numbers. I still hit it 350 yards with the Diamana shaft. I still can hit it that far. The difference in price, does that equate to the results you're getting with the different shafts? That's a question I think only you can answer. But we're not done. We're not done. We're going to put it up now against probably my favourite shaft of all time. The shaft that I'm changing it out for deserves a bit of a story. I have tested a lot of shafts in my time. The funniest shaft, the craziest shaft I tested was last year with Bride Roberts over at Scottsdale Golf, a shaft called Autoflex, a shaft that's extremely light, extremely flexy, but very low torque. This means that you can swing supposedly faster and you still get very good numbers. Autoflex is very, very good, but there's a few difficulties with it. Swing weight to begin with. I was approached about a month or two back by a brand called FreeFlex. This absolute beauty of a shaft. This shaft is very similar to Autoflex in that it is very, very low torque. It's very light. You've got a 38 gram or a 45 gram. And what's cool here is also got a spine to it, which could supposedly be deflected to change it to a draw or a fade, like spine angling for irons. This shaft, first of all, is the best looking shaft I've seen in my life, but at 45 grams, it's lighter, it's very flexy, which I'll show you. And it should, albeit being very flexy, very light, give me good numbers, give me low spin, give me faster ball speeds, faster club head speed. But the, I guess, problem, I would say, is that it is entirely different to every other club in my bag. Like a different sport. There is no better way to describe this shaft, to showcase this shaft, other than putting it on the GC quad here, than the waggle test. That, just in case you're not aware, is not normal when you compare it to other expensive shafts like Ventus. Ventus is stout. It has very low torque like this, but its kick point, its balance point is very different. This is, I'm not sure what flex you would call this in terms of senior, ladies, regular, stiff, extra stiff, but that is only just one metric on shafts, and it doesn't necessarily matter because this being 45 grams, a good 20 or so grams lighter than the other shaft in this video, and being flexy means that if I sync it up correctly, I could get some better numbers. That was left. A little bit left, but tell you what, that one felt smooth, which is smooth and 178 ball speed. So those numbers are really good, a really good start to finally be able to sync it up. The problem I have with this shaft is that it's just so different, so different. I've been testing it actually for a while, putting it in my bag on and off for a while, and let me just tell you a story about my clubs. This is 45 grams, it's wiggle waggle. The next club I have in my bag is a hybrid 100X, stout, heavy, ugly. The next clubs on my bag I have irons, Project X 6.5, 125 grams I believe. Such a different shaft profile. This is cool. It is, from looks alone, it's enough for me to be like, I'm just putting it in my bag. Does it work? Yes, but it's hard. I would say it's hard to get it correct for you, but God, it looks cool. That one was fast. And what I'm most interested about this, what I am so fascinated about this shaft, as that one goes 347 again, it's consistent, is the efficiency at 1.49. God, those numbers are good. I'm able to find the middle of the club face with this once I get into a rhythm. So 1.49, 122 are fastest yet, and 181 are fastest yet, which will keep climbing. So this shaft has results, it has answers, it is faster than the Ventus because that club speed is up. How much faster? I would say on average it will look like about 1 mile an hour, maybe 2 mile an hour, but this is here when I'm testing it. On the course it could be a different story because on the course this is actually pretty terrifying. That is gone. Absolutely miles again. Look at that. Look at that carry. So I don't think that's going to be that much faster. I haven't looked yet. But okay, we're seeing again consistent numbers, ball speed, club head speed. Efficiency is really good, and it's leading to 355 yards. Left a little bit. But what's good about this one, and you'll see I think in the averages that we'll get, is we're going to see, I think, a difference in ball speed by about 3 mile an hour again from Ventus, which is actually quite impressive. The dispersion, however, is something that we need to look at because it's so flexy, it does look like it's going doing, doing, doing. Well, you know what, not doing, doing. It looks like it's just going a little bit left. So these numbers are good, averaging exactly 180 mile an hour ball speed. Dispersion, I said it was bad. It is not ideal, but they are all going left. So perhaps a slight tinker with the face angle could improve that. But Comparing these is going to be the cool bit. What's really interesting to me here is, look, we've got 3 different price tags here. Diamana, Ventus and Freeflex. The difference in all of these is 6 mile/hour ball speed. And that, if you look at the total yardages, equates to about 15 or so yards. All the numbers are good. If we point you to the table at the top, the worst of the worst in terms of dispersion is the Diamana, as you can see here, with a quite large circle. If we go on to the Ventus and the Freeflex, they're pretty similar in dispersion, but I would say the Freeflex is slightly larger. But the overall numbers from Freeflex with ball speed, launch angle, spin rate, they're all pretty good. As you can see, 7 yards better than the Ventus. So what's cool here is we have got a very clear distinction between what is the cheapest shaft and what is the best shaft. And 6 mile/hour ball speed is actually quite a lot, because if you went for a fitting and got an extra 6 mile/hour, that fitter would be shaking your hand and very happy with how he's performed. The thing is, Freeflex is out of a lot of people's price tag, and also so is Ventus at around £300 or so. So if we're looking at it, is custom fitting worth it? This is a question that I can answer for myself. I personally think it is, to an extent. Custom fitting is extremely important if you are a person like me. I'm 6'4", have an extremely weird body structure, and I would not suit a standard setup driver, irons, wedges, or putter. When I've had it before, my dispersion was all over the place. With some extensive custom fitting, I've been able to get, one, some very good driver shaft options, fairwood options, but also irons, wedges, and putter, very, very different to a standard off-the-rack setting. If you are a standard Joe Smith, 5'10", 170 pounds, swings it pretty normally from a static measurement, don't have anything that crazy, you may not see massive improvements if you get fitted, because they could fit you for standard length, standard lie, and a shaft that's pretty basic. So there's a lot of angles to consider here. If you are wanting to improve your game and you have clubs that are outdated, that are not fitted towards you, I think everyone will notice an improvement if they get custom fitted. The extent of how much improvement you will see depends and varies from person to person. Myself, I saw a big improvement. I've seen and observed other people get fitted, nothing at all. So although these numbers show a very clear difference between the shafts, that's for me. It may not be the same for you. My personal favorite, of course, in this video is Freeflex. I think it's an absolutely incredible shaft. And if you want me to do an individual review, a video on this, please let me know down in the comments, because the color, the results, just its overall shaft profile is pretty incredible. I've seen TXG do very similar to Autoflex, comparing it to Autoflex. It is completely different to any other shaft on the planet. Let me know what you think. If you're new to GolfMagic, smash that subscribe button to keep up to date with all of our videos. Thank you very much, Grays Golf, for letting me use their wonderful venue. I'll catch you guys at the next video.